because in addition to Schuler back there, Charlie Garner is back there. The running back has had back-to-back games with more than 100 yards rushing, as Tennessee has yet to have less than 400 yards of total offense in any game this year. It's a big game, but perhaps a bit bigger for Louisville in particular, which has already accepted a bid to the Liberty Bowl.
Right. Louisville, obviously, Paul, is seeking respect. These two teams played 2 years ago at Louisville. Tennessee won 28-11. Ironically, in that game, Jeff Brom broke his leg. He was a junior. By breaking his leg, he got a medical hardship, and that allowed him to redshirt and become eligible for this rematch. He would have graduated. Tennessee's quarterback, Heath Schuler, he's got a much better supporting cast. Tennessee has a better defense. Louisville's really, their only hope is the fact that quarterback Jeff Braun, with that all-pro attack, can exploit Tennessee's weakness, and that's their deep secondary, just like Florida did. So I like Braun to keep it close, and he'll certainly need all the help he can get because Louisville's defense is very suspect, but I'll take the 12.5.
As you usually do.
The SEC slate, as reality starts to sink in, chances of a rematch with Bama in the title game are slim. For Louisville, today is a potential landmark, their first ever victory over a top 10 team, and a chance to stick it to those bowl bureaucrats who locked them out of a New Year's Day bowl, making the Liberty now their best option. Is it deja vu for the Ville, snubbed by the Bowls in '72 with Coach Corso and the hair? His team went 9-1. They were shunned by the Bowls. What happened, Coach?
Well, let me tell you, that great team, that was a great football team, especially Tom Jackson, the #1 defensive player, #1 player ever coached. I tell you, they were a great team, but we got, in 1972, we had a 9-1 record, as he said. We were nationally ranked, but no one would play us. We got shut out because we were too good. This year, Howard Snellenberger has an outstanding team, and he faces a similar situation.
If we win our next 3 football games and we go into the Liberty Bowl as the 6th-ranked football team in America, and some of the undefeated teams stump their toes and come up with 10-1, and we're 10-1, and some peculiar things happen on January 1, it just might be a very embarrassing situation for a lot of people.
Even though we're already in the Liberty Bowl, I think me as well as my teammates look at this Tennessee game as the biggest bowl. To us, playing a team of their caliber in their stadium is going to be the biggest game of our season, so this is our bowl game.
And for Braun, there's some irony today. 2 years ago against Tennessee, he broke his leg, allowing him a medical redshirt year so he could face him this year. Does he make most of the chance?
He better try to. Louisville's got a real problem in front of them, though. They're playing in front of 100,000 fans who will be screaming out there, plus Tennessee's tough defense, which is going to be a challenge. Jeff Brom, the one thing he has going for him in this game, they'll go from the shotgun formation, give him a little more time to read the coverage. They're going to need that in this ball game.
Tennessee must pressure Jeff Brom, and one of the best ways to do it is to stunt your defensive lineman. Watch the left tackle take 2 blockers on the left side of the picture while the right tackle comes around, gets free, and sacks the quarterback. That's the key to pressuring Jeff Brom, is that inside pressure. Now, Craig, I'll tell you what, Tennessee's going to beat Louisville. They're going to beat them by 12 points, but there's only one reason. The game's in Knoxville. If it was in Louisville, I picked the Cardinals.
Yeah, I like Tennessee also, and that home field advantage will play a big part in it. But Louisville's a good football team. They'll find a way to score some points. This is a non-conference game for Tennessee. You wonder how pumped up they'll be, but Louisville will be ready to play.
The Ville, a 13-point underdog. You guys are both on the same side of this as now. I'm panicked. That's also the Mighty Dogs.
Yeah, so are we.
Yeah. Too late to change it?
Depends on what Norm does.
Coming up, supermodel Cindy Crawford. What does she have in common with an Oklahoma bull rider?
Football fortunes at Louisville. His quarterback, a hometown hero, number 11, Jeff Brom, one of the best in the nation. But at Tennessee, Philip Fulmer has the Volunteers in high gear in his first season as high coach. And he has a dandy at the controls, too. Number 21, Heath Schuler. He could become one of the great heroes in Tennessee history. And you are looking down at one of the wonderful scenes in all of college football. Neyland Stadium, Knoxville, Tennessee. ABC Sports College Football, in association with the College Football Association, presents a matchup featuring the Louisville Cardinals and the Tennessee Volunteers. It's an overcast, chilly Saturday afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. With Dick Vermeil, I'm Brett Musburger. But it's a great day for football. And what a wonderful matchup we have between these two quarterbacks.
Oh, we really do, Brent. You and I have had the opportunity to present a lot of good college football games, but I don't know if we've had the opportunity to present two equally talented quarterbacks, both completing at about 64% completion ratio, throwing very few interceptions, both around 20 touchdown passes. Both can really run very well. I would not want to be the defensive coordinator today.
Well, Tennessee comes in here a 13-point favorite, but there are a lot of folks who will tell you that's too many. This Louisville team can play. We will begin to find out in just a moment. Football country, the Southeastern Conference, and a shocker unfolding with 2.5 minutes to go. LSU beating Alabama. Jackaroot, this becomes even bigger now.
Brett, it certainly does. In fact, when you take a look at things, one of the things in the mood in the locker room for the University of Louisville Cardinal was what Howard Schnellenberger said to his charges. He said, folks, you're not playing against the University of Tennessee today. You're playing against the entire Southeastern Conference. They feel like they've been snubbed by the Bulls, although they're the first one to accept a bid to the Liberty Bowl. But the players also remember 1991, the last time that these two teams met, back in Louisville, Kentucky. In that game, a great pass play, a reception by Carl Pickens, put the team ahead. Pickens went on to play on Sundays here this year in the NFL. Another player, though, in that game who thought possibly he'd have a chance at this point in his career in 1993 to play on Sundays was also in that game, playing for the Cardinal of Kentucky, Louisville. He was the quarterback, Jeff Brom. In only his second start, he was sacked very hard with 5 minutes to go in the game, and he broke his right femur. He was awarded a medical red shirt, an additional year of competition due to that injury, and he is back to even the score against the Tennessee Volunteers today due to that injury.
And Jack, he will handle the ball right away as Louisville will receive the opening kickoff. John Bexford, he has booted 18 kickoffs into the end zone this season. A little bit of a wind at his back here with a very dangerous return man, Aaron Bailey. Tennessee would like to keep it out of his hands as much as possible. Underway in Knoxville. Down, coming out on the 20-yard line. So here is the young man. Brom will bring the Louisville offense up. 91,000 ready for him. A pass to Bailey on first down. A penalty flag down. A first down Louisville, but there is a penalty flag. Aaron Bailey, and he's the young man. They want to keep the ball in his hands all day long. Against the offense, that nice gain is coming back. Ralph Dawkins, very tall linebacker for Tennessee. The defensive backfield will be under attack all day. Keep an eye on number 7, Jason Parker. He has matured into a very good one. Dick.
Well, I'll tell you this right now, that Gary Nord was very concerned about coming into this ball game, Brent, about the down 4 rush ability of Tennessee. They can rush the passer.
A 1st and 21 after the penalty. A draw with Dawkins, who is slammed at the 9-yard line. Paul Yatkowski, number 99, leading the defense against Dawkins.
Yatkowski is a great big senior. It's 265 pounds, the left-hand corner of your screen, playing head up on Gary Patrick, number 74. You'll see him, number 99 years, controlling the offensive blocker, reading the draw, and making the play.
Well, it's going to be over. Alabama is going to lose. That's why the crowd is cheering. They're very aware of it, that LSU has beaten Alabama. The left tackle pulled out too early. Whistled down. The left tackle pulled back prior to the snap count.
Big
ball before the snap. Ball start. Offense. Half the distance.
Right side of your screen, big Jermaine Williams, number 75. You'll see him moving early. Now watch him, you see him step out of there. The running back, he can move. He's going in motion. He can move out of there. Maybe Louisville just a little too uptight here early in the ball game.
There it is. LSU upsets 5th-ranked Alabama. Second down, backed up inside their 5-yard line. Dawkins to the 11-yard line. And let me check, that was Chris Fitzpatrick, the fullback. Fitzpatrick getting that carry and not Dawkins.
Larry Marmee, the defensive coordinator for Tennessee, told me his big concern is controlling the quarterback, and they must rush, yes, rush hard, but rush with control, and they will use one man, as they call, a designated cop, to always know where Brom is in that backfield.
Shotgun for Brom. Sprints to the right and throws to Dawkins, who had slipped out as a receiver, to the 26-yard line, and Louisville will punt.
Gary Nord, excuse me, Brent. Gary Nord, the offensive coordinator, said they were going to start right out moving the pocket just like they did that time, so they can't zero in that pass rush.
Brandon Brookfield, number 81. Corey Flemings, number 12 for Tennessee. Fleming at the 35. To the 42-yard line. So we will come back with Tennessee's first possession. Back in Knoxville, Keith Schuler, number 21, with his first series here for Tennessee. 36 career touchdowns and only 10 interceptions. A junior. Charlie Garner is the running back for the Volunteers. The toss, nothing but daylight, and a splendid tackle by Terry Quinn. Good tackle by number 40. Now Garner, the JC transfer of a year ago, has matured into an excellent running back, fine wide receivers, and a good Tennessee offensive line. Matched against Joe Johnson, who's one of the best defensive linemen in the country for Louisville this year, and a defensive backfield featuring Anthony Bridges, number 21. The toss the other way, they faked the end around. Slammed again by Terry Quinn. Number 40 with another stop. John Saunders, that was some upset. Alabama losing to LSU. Pulled it out. He certainly turned in some good moments, John, when he came in and played quarterback. Now the shotgun, 4 wide receivers to Schuler's right. A first down at the 41-yard line. Sylvan, number 83, and a penalty flag is down back at the 35-yard line. It's against Louisville.
I think they called a personal foul on the pass rusher that time, Brent.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, on the defense, first down.
Now, we want to put that upset in its proper context for Tennessee fans. Alabama, remember, is in the Western Division, so they're still very much in control because Auburn is ineligible and Bama's headed for the SEC championship game. Tennessee will only get help if Florida loses at South Carolina or at home against Vanderbilt. We'll show you the other division in a moment. On 1st and 10, after the penalty, Schuler drops it complete again to Sylvan, who is to the 15-yard line, and another first down for the Volunteers. Now, here is the Eastern Division standings. You can see there that Florida is in control with 2 conference games left. On the 13th at South Carolina, and at home in Gainesville on the 20th with Vanderbilt. Let me also correct it. They were just short of that first down. Second and about a foot. First down, Tennessee with Moss Phillips, number 19, the fullback.
David Cutlet, the offensive coordinator for Tennessee, told me that they want to attack the wide side of the field a lot today and get the coverage working over there, then come back to the short side of the field versus the one-on-one coverage. Down here, they like to throw the post-corner combinations.
Dick, this environment is really tough for a road team. 91,000. It is really difficult.
Really tough.
15-yard line. Garner battles to the 10. That's about a 6-yard gain for the senior tailback.
Tennessee has really been good down inside the red zone. 41 times scored, 33, 80%. And the big thing, the real positive, is 27 touchdowns. Very efficient inside the red zone.
Now let's see what they come up with here, Dick. Garner for perhaps another yard, close to the 8-yard line. A little slant off the left side. Auburn continuing its winning ways easily today. Wonderful success story for Terry Bowden at Auburn, and they've still got one coming up at home against Alabama. So it is likely that Tennessee will be higher rated than Alabama. Very good possibility of that.
Really tough on the defense down here now when the quarterback can run so well.
From the shotgun, Dick. Here he comes on the quarterback draw. And Schuler battles to the 1-yard line. First and goal, Tennessee.
When that man behind the center can both run and pass, the problems for the defensive coordinator, the down linemen, are just magnified. This is a called play, not a broken play. He sets up, makes it look fast. Now see, there it is. It's all blocked properly up inside. Nice job by the offensive lineman. He's looking for the first down, now the touchdown.
Brunson gives him an additional blocker in the backfield, and the clock runs out. So timeout is called as it was zeroing out.
The defensive coordinator for Louisville, Ty Smith, recognizes that they're very explosive offensively. He said the thing that we're going to try to do, number one, is prevent the big long play and then contain the running game. Give them the short stuff and let them do that stuff, seeing if they would be patient enough to stay with that approach the entire ball game. He says they have so many weapons, you can't defense everything.
Well, they did not get that timeout called. That's a 5-yard penalty. Backs it up to the 6-yard line. Schuler stumbles to the end zone. What great balance.
Strong fake inside, freezes the defense just enough for when he gets right there, the pursuit is stopped, and he can hit that little crack and get into the end zone.
Bexford, 103 PATs in a row. He has never missed. Tennessee leads by 7. College football on ABC, brought to you by American Honda, who has been making quality cars in America for the past 10 years. Delta Airlines, with 290 flights a week, nobody gives you more of Europe than Delta. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And Alka-Seltzer, plus cold medicine. Nothing rushes relief like Alka-Seltzer Plus. Heath Schuler and the Tennessee Volunteers leading Louisville 7-0. And now Bailey and the Cardinals will attempt to respond from a yard deep. And Alley, a penalty flag down at the 22.
They haven't been able to do anything positive without that flag coming down on them, both offensively and defensively. The last penalty within that, against the defense, that personal foul, that was a 30-yard play.
On the run back, holding on the receiving team, 10-yard penalty, end of the run, first down and 10.
Howard Schnellenberger's team has been in a hole all game long.
They've been penalized a lot this year, averaging 10 penalties a game. That's a lot of penalties. Probably about 5 more a game than Howard would really like to have.
And he's not happy with the officiating right now. From complete to Ferguson. And Ferguson slammed hard. Jackaroot.
Well, you were talking, Brent, about Howard Schnellenberger not being happy with the officials. He wasn't happy with them before the game started. The SEC officials met with Howard and informed him of several rules that are on the rule book that they enforce quite heavily here in the SEC. One is the external use of towels. He told his troops would all have to have a towel no longer than 12 inches. But more importantly, he said no displays of emotion after a touchdown or a point score. He was quite upset about those, having been sprung on him with only 5 minutes before the game started.
Now the toss, and it's the fullback, Fitzpatrick, getting the Cardinals a first down.
Real nice job of Ralph Dawkins, a little running back there. Got the lead block and knocked down the outside linebacker, allowing him to get around the outside.
The fullback is hurt, and he's coming out.
Rod Strickland, number 31, is their backup. Chris Fitzpatrick is important both in the running game and receiving game, and he's also a real good blocker.
They love the Volunteers here in Knoxville. Dawkins slants left side into a hole, 33-yard line. Nice run by Dawkins. Victor Brown bringing him down, Dick.
The big offensive guard, Dave DeBold, the offensive left guard to the left center of your screen. Will
Sideline. Brom keeps it. He's a fine runner. Steps out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Gain of about 3.
You can see that both of these quarterbacks are very mobile, and Gary Nord, the quarterback coach and offensive coordinator, said one of the things they're going to establish early in the ball game offensively for Louisville is misdirection, to try to slow down the quickness of that defense. That was one of those misdirection plays.
There are 10,000 Louisville Cardinal football fans watching. Keith Schuler staying loose on the Tennessee sideline. Brown is sacked at the 30-yard line by Shane Bonham.
Shane Bonham is a very quick defensive tackle. Fairbanks, Alaska, transferred from the Air Force Academy. In looking at tape in preparation to do the broadcast, he stands out because he is a step quicker than everybody else on that defensive line and coming off the ball.
And that defensive line is very tough. This is going to be some job at hand for the offensive line of the Cardinals. You can watch this defensive front is coming off hard. They hold up this time, and Brown with it, almost a great catch downfield at the 40-yard line by the tight end, Jamie Asher, one of their leading receivers.
You have to stop Jamie Asher if you are going to beat Louisville. They throw the ball to their tight end. They move him around. There he is in the middle of your screen. He's going to be working there against Victor Brown, number 16, one-on-one. He beats him on the inside move, and they many times give him an option route, meaning if the defender's outside, you beat him inside. If he's inside, you beat him outside.
It was Victor Brown covering, and punting is Brookfield again. Here's Fleming at the 35, and nowhere. Tennessee leads it by 7. The airship Shamu, the SeaWorld blimp, measures 194 feet in length, 67 feet tall. That's 2/3 the length of a football field and nearly 7 stories high. Nice to have Shamu with us this Saturday afternoon. Nice to have you along, too. 7-0. Tennessee over Louisville. If you just sat down, Alabama beaten today by LSU, but that does not help the Volunteers in the Eastern Division of the SEC. However, they will be, it appears, rated higher this week than the Crimson Tide with the new ratings. Schuler, complete to the 40, 45, and out of bounds, Billy Williams.
See, they get the ball out there in that one-on-one situation. You're throwing it to a very gifted athlete, and he can make you miss. Coming out of junior college, he averaged 21.6 a reception. He just demonstrated that kind of elusiveness.
Volunteers with that first down at midfield. Nebraska and Kansas are tied in the fourth quarter. What a stunner that could also be. The draw play. Garner steps away from the first man to hit him and battles his way to the 46, and Ben Sumter.
You know, with the emphasis of being under control as a defensive lineman in those tackle positions and watching for quarterback scrambles and screens and that kind of stuff, it may be a little tougher to run those draws inside.
Receivers and a wingback. Make the draw. Schuler and the wingman dropped it on him that time. Moss Phillips, the fullback, slipping out as a pass receiver, and he couldn't hang on. It's 3rd and 6. Florida big. And West Virginia all over Rutgers today, 58-15. UCLA. Folks, if you haven't seen them lately, the Bruins are on a roll. And Penn State wins today, 38-31. Next week, Illinois pays a visit to Penn State. So it's 3rd down for Schuler from the shotgun. Those 4 wide receivers on the left. And he drops back underneath from the other side for the first down to Corey Fleming. That was a neat formation.
See, they had 4 receivers to the wide field, Brent. 1 receiver short field. They run everybody out, and they bring Fleming across underneath. It's a very high percentage throw. Now you see number 18, Kevin Gaines, on him right there. Now he's going to release him, see? He releases him into the zone. It's not a long throw. They're looking for the first down, and they got it.
Tennessee at the Louisville 38. On the move a second time. Garner, right side. Garner to the 31. Jackaroo, Heath Schuler. Heath. Now that's a very interesting first name.
It certainly is, and it just shows that maybe you and I are getting pretty old, because now people tend to name their children after heroes in TV shows. You remember the great Western with Barbara Stanwyck and Lee Majors? They called the Big Valley. Well, Marjorie Schuler, Heath's mom, fell in love with Lee Majors' character named Heath. Ergo, her son, number 21, was named Heath. Now, they have another son named Benji. I don't know what she was watching when she named him that.
I can guess. Jack Armstrong throws it back to us. And here's
nice.
Slapped down by big Joe Johnson.
Beautiful defensive play, demonstrating athletic ability. They tried to cut block him. Meaning go for the feet. You'll see him the top.
Here's an interesting 3rd down for the Volunteers. 5 receivers again. Schuler in the shotgun, firing out of bounds at close to a first down. Corey Fleming, the receiver.
See, again, not throwing the ball a long ways downfield, just trying to get it to the chains for the first down. Ty Smith, defensive coordinator, thinking, we're going to give you a lot of that short stuff. He may want to tighten up on 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 6 as he sees the Tennessee game plan unfold, Brent, and place some man under and back him up with 2 free safeties.
But it was enough for the first down. Play fake Schuler.
linebackers from getting down the hole. Now watch the linebackers. A nice fake to the tailback here. See the linebackers step up there. Now they're backing out, and there's a two-deep zone, and he reads the zone. A beautiful, beautiful left-hand catch by Craig Faulkner. His 28th reception on the year. Excellent, excellent catch. You talk about athletes, huh?
First down at the Cardinals' 11-yard line. Time.
You know, Brett,
Schuler calls timeout.
we were talking, and I'm really impressed with Schuler, but I'll tell you this, his receivers catch passes that would otherwise be incomplete. I'll tell you, they catch a lot of balls like that.
Well, tomorrow, ABC Sports has an exciting lineup. First, the 2 Eastern. He's very happy the way things are going. His old company right now, volunteers up. And, you know, it was great to come to Neyland Stadium today and see one of the great legends of broadcasting come down from his place on the hill with his sister, Lindsey Nelson, here watching his beloved Volunteers of Tennessee. This is just a wonderful, wonderful environment setting for college athletics.
Did you tell me your first time in the booth was as a spotter for Lindsey Nelson?
Sure was. We did a Houston-Chicago Bear preseason game. I was the spotter for him.
Did you ever make a mistake?
Gave him the wrong receiver on the first touchdown. Felt terrible. Lindsey just kind of like held up his hands, calmed down. Crowd came down. He changed the name of the receiver to withdraw it.
Hey, you know, you spotters, Brent didn't learn anything from him, did he?
No, Tubbs has got black and blue up inside the left side of the arm where I'd beaten on him through the years. All right, first down now for Tennessee.
It looks like they're going to come after him.
Complete. Out at the 1-yard line. Billy Williams again.
See, they get up there, they push you back into the end zone and come up. I think you're going to have to crowd these guys and take your chances down inside this red zone area because they're throwing the ball too accurately right now, and they're mixing it up. They throw it straight back, they throw it shotgun, they throw it on play action rollout. Many varieties of throwing the football make it tough.
Well, Dick, it's beginning to look like it'll be up to the Louisville Cardinal offense to get them back in this. Their defense has been reeling here. 2 drives, and Tennessee looking for its second score.
Well, the Tennessee offense has been so efficient, Brent. Last year, they averaged 388 yards a game. This year, they're averaging 476 yards a game. They're up over 11 points a game, scoring more this year than last year. They're demonstrating their efficiency here in these first couple of drives.
Here's the first and goal play. Mario Brunson, the extra running back. Touchdown. Charlie Garner.
Garner, not the biggest guy at 5'10", 187, but he is very quick. They give him a little crack right there, the right side of your screen. Good block right there, and he just pops in. He only needed a little, and that's what he got for the touchdown. Tennessee has done an awful good job of taking advantage of very good field position. You know, getting the ball like at midfield if they've been playing on a short field. Louisville's got to do a better job of moving the ball, and they've got to quit committing the fouls.
Well, tonight on ABC, George Foreman stars in the premiere of the new comedy. Or two, can he?
Yes, he could. How do you like, who do you like in the fight tonight, speaking of George Foreman? Huh?
Riddick Bowe.
Riddick Bowe, okay.
I always like the big man against those light heavy. How about you?
I tend to agree with you.
Now, Evander's, he's in shape. You can bet on that.
Yeah.
He'll be there. A lot of folks from Atlanta have gone out to Las Vegas for that one. Evander Holyfield lives down there. Riddick Bowe, isn't he building a big new house in New Jersey? Didn't I read that, Dick? Big new palace, he may need the cash tonight. Well, it's 14-0. Tennessee.
Oh, nice kick. It's up in the air. It hangs. Easy to cover that kind
Bailey
of
for the 1. Cutting him into the angle. To the 25, and Louisville now searching for a big play. Where will they have to go?
Well, they're going to have to get their big play out of the passing game, Brent, and that's how they've done it all year. Their receivers are efficient. They have a very good touchdown ratio in reception to touchdown ratio percentage-wise. That's how they get their big plays, but they normally start out moving the ball by getting the ball to Jamie Asher, their tight end, number 37. They love to get him the football on these running downs.
Now let's see if Brom can drive the Cardinals. Shellman in the backfield on the toss. Reggie Ingram with the hit at the 30.
You know, Louisville does not use a lot of 3 wide receiver or 4 wide receiver formations. They don't substitute personnel and change people much. They move their tight end route. Howard likes to stay with very basic sets, so it's easy for his quarterback to get definition and read the coverages.
Howard and the Cardinals need a couple of big plays. We'll be right back. So Louisville closing out its season with Tennessee, Texas A&M next week, and then Tulsa on a mission. First things first, right now, they're trailing the Volunteers in Knoxville by 2 touchdowns. And Brom will put the passing game in high gear here in the second quarter. Kept it that time for a Louisville first down at the 35-yard line.
First and 10, Cardinals.
So the Buckeyes score first on the road, and Nebraska, ranked number 6, getting a scare from Kansas, leading now by 7. West Virginia in the fourth quarter, up by 36. And on first down, that's another first down, and it was Anthony Shellman of the Cardinals.
You know, Howard Schnellenberger's doing a very smart thing on these running plays. He has 2 tight ends in the ball game, one in a slot and one as a split end. And when they go downfield and block in front of that kind of play, you have a more physical person. They both got key blocks on that. Good use of personnel. Good game planning.
These Southeastern Conference officials have got to start giving Howard a better spot. It's second and inches.
I know. I'll tell you, nobody ever feels they get a fair shake when they come here, believe me.
Play fake Brom. Downfield incomplete. Third and inches.
They go down the field a lot with their passing game. They really do, Brent, more so than most people that we see, not only with the wide receivers, but also with that tight end. They like to get downfield and push you off, especially early in the ball game.
Now they had Cooper, a freshman wide receiver, breaking deep that time. Louisville 0 of 2 on third downs today.
They should just quarterback sneak this one, no?
The toss for the first down to the 45, and Danny Patterson getting the call. You know, Howard has run in a couple of new running backs. Ralph Dawkins not playing, Shellman getting the call here, and now it's Danny Patterson, number 48.
Well, remember, he's had a bye, so he's had 2 weeks to prepare other players to play that maybe were younger, and Howard's teams always get better as the season goes, and so do his players, and now using some other talent. You see they're very efficient on offense. Look at that, 16 plays per touchdown. That's better than the average of the best teams in the country.
Needing a score here to get back in this one. A couple of yards for Patterson.
See, I don't think they plan to make a living running inside, Brent, but they want to control those defensive tackles, stop them from stunning and looping all around on those early downs. Tennessee is not a big blitzing team, and Larry Marmie, the defensive coordinator, doesn't think he has to blitz much to get a good pass rush on these. Plus, if you blitz, you have to play man-to-man coverage, and against man-to-man coverage, the running quarterback could drive you crazy.
Fitzpatrick, who was shaken up, back in the Louisville backfield. Brown from the shotgun. Throws complete. Asher, the tight end, to the 37-yard line, and this will be about a 3rd and 5. Let's see where they spot it. Jack, what about Dawkins?
Well, Brent, you and Coach were trying to decide whether it was maybe they were trying to run in some fresh legs. That really isn't the case. They just feel like they want a little bigger running back in there, and that's why they've taken Dawkins out, and they're alternating back and forth.
They're also keeping some backs in for pass protection purposes. Better to have a big guy than the little guy.
Fitzpatrick and Shillman are alongside Brom. Incomplete, a little bit high. Fitzpatrick, the intended receiver. Not an easy pass to catch.
Not an easy pass. He threw it too high. I think he should throw that complete. Excellent pass protection. Nobody around him. Jeff has to throw that complete to be competitive in this football game, and I know that's what Howard is thinking right now.
It was interesting how Howard handled him in that situation, Dick. You wonder about, the youngster mentally. He didn't say anything to him. He let him go on by, and instead Howard spoke to his tight end when he came off the field, but there were no words exchanged between the coach and the quarterback.
Good job.
This punt will be down around the 6-7 yard line. So he's sure, and the Volunteers are coming out for their 3rd series. They have been very successful with their first 2. Knoxville, Tennessee, and the Cardinals will try to keep the Volunteers bottled up. Coming out for the 7, James Stewart in as the Volunteer running back. Stewart, a yard and 2 off the twist, with Dewberry hanging on.
Very nice inside linebacker play from Vince Dewberry. He's from Union City, California. Went to Chabot Junior College, and he filled that nicely. Just scraped right off his defensive tackle's rear end and went right up in the hole and made the play. Nice job, Vince.
91,000 on hand here at Neyland Stadium. 2nd down. It off to Moss Phillips, the fullback. Well, there's the situation, and of course you're aware of the nightmare that occurred up in Wisconsin last week. Jack Carew, what about security here at Neyland Stadium?
Well, Brent, people can't help but be concerned about it, and as you can see, the student section here, they've got a high wall and then a chain link fence. But let me show you what they've done. They've added over 300 security people, including a lot of uniformed policemen. Every major college team has got to be concerned about what happened in Wisconsin, and they are certainly concerned here in Knoxville.
Schuler on the roll, fires complete. He hit Williams that time with Anthony Bridges all over him, and Williams saying, look, you didn't have to ride me that far out of bounds.
Well, Anthony Bridges came into this ball game with 7 interceptions, tied for number 2 in the country in the NCAA Division I. Outstanding interceptor. Not a great one-on-one coverage guy from what I understand and talking to the coaches, but has a great feel for reading coverages.
How about this scene here, Dick?
It makes you feel a little small, doesn't it?
You know that they're going to enlarge this stadium, going to be as big as Michigan someday.
Really?
Yeah, you bet they are. And they'll sell those seats, too. 1st and 10. Here's the draw play. Phillips again to the 21-yard line.
Well, you know, you have Tennessee deep in their own hole. You've got to keep them back down there. So offensively, when you get the ball back, you get to play on that shorter field.
Referee call both ways.
Faulkner and Williams are out to Schuler's right. Schuler on second down and throws incomplete. He threw behind Fleming.
Excellent design. They took advantage of the type of coverage that was being played, predicting the coverage they would get. They got it. They just didn't throw it complete.
What kind of changes has Fulmer made with this offense from the days of Johnny Majors, Dick?
Well, I think he has opened the offense up a little bit more. More 3 and 4 wide receivers, Brent. More one-back attack. But you know that Coach Majors always ran a real wide-open attack here, especially over the last few years. A lot of quarterbacks and a lot of good receivers coming out of this school.
Get it back, come out!
Schuler sprinting to the right. Incomplete. He does put a lot of pressure on a defense when he starts rolling one way because he is an excellent runner.
No question about it. Plus, big defensive series right there. They stop him for the first time. They get the ball back now in much better field position. And Howard Schnellenberger's football teams are always great kicking teams. They're good in the return sides, they're good in the coverage sides, and they normally have a good punter and place kicker. He really emphasizes the kicking game.
Tommy Hutton. Aaron Bailey deep. Hutton hits it at the 10. It's short. Takes a Tennessee bounce. Down at the 39-yard line. Louisville's ball again. Look at all the traffic. He went to school here in Knoxville. He knows what happens when they're playing. Folks, there's nobody. That one lonely car. You think his radio's on to the game, Dick?
I could imagine. Either that or he's from out of the country.
Meanwhile, here we are. Dawkins and Fitzpatrick. Brom from the shotgun. Runs out of trouble. And now he'll be forced to go out of bounds. Never could find an open receiver, and a chance to quickly look at the ACC today. We've already told you the big story. Taylor. Brom to the running back Dawkins, who slips out of the backfield and is out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
Brom did a real nice job on that, Brent. He wanted to throw the slant pattern. They took the slant pattern around. The trail back was out there. He popped it to him. Good execution on that.
3rd and 7.
Do you think she cares who wins this ball game? Huh? Look at that little gal.
The Cardinals need 6 yards. It's 3rd and 6 here. 9 minutes. Brom steps away from the pressure and is hammered at the 42-yard line by Quincy Prigmore, the nickel man today, number 17.
Outstanding pass rush from the down 4 defensive end coming off hard outside, and Jermaine Williams, the offensive left tackle. You'll watch the problem that Jermaine Williams is having at the offensive left tackle spot. See number 75, see him reach out there. Too much speed on him right there. Talley coming around the outside, force the quarterback up inside. Here comes his help.
Brookfield punting again. Fleming back deep for Tennessee. Fair catch at the 23-yard line. Well, at the conclusion of the game, we'll select a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game. First and 10 for the Volunteers. Charlie Garner. About a couple of yards. Well, Dick Vermeil, last week, I was not with you in Philadelphia. Instead, I was watching this scene. On Thursday, young golfer out of the University of Tennessee, Jimmy Gallagher. Nothing to it, folks. That wraps up a 63 and a course record at the Olympic Club. And later, he picked up the cash, and here he is with us. Jimmy, nice to have you with us. What kind of a week did you have, partner?
I haven't stopped yet. I went to Hawaii, I've been to Mississippi, I'm back up here. It's been a great, fun week, that's for sure.
How about your football team here today?
We're looking pretty good so far. We can get a couple more quarters like this, we'll be in great shape.
Dick Vermeil, I know you were trying to get a little golf tip there from Jimmy when he came in, working on your backswing
I'll
a little
tell you,
bit, partner. I'd
have to keep him here the entire game and then stay over tomorrow to help me. I'll tell you this.
Show him how to do this. And 7. Kendall Brown, number 85. So Kendall comes up with a couple of key plays.
Kendall Brown, you'll see him up there, number 85, left-hand top of your screen. By Kendall Brown.
Hutton searching for a better punt this time. Under pressure. And the ball out of bounds on the far side, inside of the 50-yard line. So Louisville putting a little heat. And after some fine defense by Brown, they'll have a good field position. We'll be right back. All right, first down now for Brom and Louisville, trailing by a couple of touchdowns. Dawkins and Fitzpatrick.
Audibly.
Fitzpatrick sweeping around the left side, and a penalty flag flying over there as he turned the corner.
See, he had him in a backfield set. He saw what the defenses was doing. He was going to run to the right, saw the defense shifted right, so he audibled out to the left. Howard doesn't like that call.
Well, the penalties have been pretty one-sided here.
They have been. And you know, when I came in here and coached 1974, my first game as a head coach, I left here feeling the same way.
Repeat first down.
That's Jimmy. Is that one of the Tennessee advantages, the officiating here in Knoxville when you get these guys in here?
They're all local guys. What are you talking about?
That's like Notre Dame. You know, Murphy's always one of the referees up there.
It's tough to beat Notre Dame in South Bend.
Louisville backed up on the other side, and penalty flag comes flying. Jamie Asher.
When they're successful offensively, they get the ball in Jamie Asher's hands.
There's a marker on the play.
And this time it'll go against Philip Fulmer. Jim, what's the feeling of the graduates and folks who come out of Tennessee about Fulmer and the job that he's trying to do here? How about Johnny Majors being out? Any
I think
lingering
everybody's
animosity?
really excited. I think, you know, it's sad that Johnny left under some terms, but I think with Phil in here, I think we're going to have maybe a little more open offense. But I think everyone's excited for what's best for Tennessee football, and I think Phil's going to do a good job here.
Is the golf course where you learned how close by?
We were fortunate. We got to play a different golf course every day. We were here in school, so we were fortunate to play Holston Hills, Fox Den, and Cherokee, and a bunch of different golf courses every day. So we never played the same one, and it was really nice.
Now after the penalty, the ball back on the other side of the 50. Louisville trailing by 2 scores. The delayed handoff, and Dawkins crushed at the 48.
They're doing a good job of getting the defensive ends upfield. The tackles are, so they try to run the draw up underneath. But the defensive tackles are whipping the center and 2 guards in there, so there's no place to run the draw.
Yeah. Jimmy, I want to thank you very much for dropping by. Did your little girl enjoy the Halloween mask you put on last night?
I scared her with it, and then after I took it off, she laughed. Then she realized that it was me.
That's great.
Well,
Okay.
thanks, Brent.
Yeah, Jimmy. Good luck.
Okay, thanks
I'll
very
see
much.
you down the road.
Okay.
Second down from the shotgun. Brom steps to the right off a pump fake. Got an open man. Bailey out at the 14-yard line. Big first down for the Cardinals. There, Dick, is the play they've been looking for.
Yeah, and excellent execution. The quarterback does 2 things. First off, they call a play that pulls him out of the pocket. So they're moving the pocket, breaks the definition of the rush. Now he gets good blocking on the right side of your screen right here. Fitzpatrick gets a knockdown right there. Then 22's right in there. He does the pump fake back to freeze the safeties from getting over to cover that fade. Good job.
Number 6, Aaron Bailey, the flanker, a 34-yard gain. Big opportunity for Louisville from the shotgun. Brom complete again to Asher, the tight end, and the 9-yard line.
Brom is very satisfied to throw the ball strong side to the tight end. The tight end is always, Howard told me, the tight end is always his #1 read when throwing the ball strong side. You'll see right from your right side of your screen, you'll see him appear. See, he's breaking straight out. Coverage has to come from the inside out, right to left, to make the play on it. Here it comes, just a little bit late.
And again, Schnellenberger's team comes from the shotgun. From incomplete, under heavy pressure that time from Horace Morris, who deflected the pass.
Boy, that is a great play. I don't think defensive linemen get enough credit for making that kind of play. Knocking the ball down before the defender has to defense it is a great play by a defender.
Dick, what does Howard like to do inside the 10-yard line here?
When he gets down here in these situations, he likes to run the backs and tight ends in crossing patterns, Brent.
He moves Asher off the line to the right. And they run from that formation with Dawkins to the 6-yard line. Need to get to the 4-yard line for a first down. Paul Yatkowski comes up with a stop for the Volunteers. Now a decision for Schnellenberger. He trails by 2 touchdowns, 14-0. Louisville will take a timeout to talk about it. 4:28 to go here in the first half. They would need about 3 yards for a first down on this 4th down situation. But there's no indication that Howard wants to settle for a field goal here.
See, everything he's thinking right now is, first off, Tennessee is moving the ball very well on us. You know, so he's considering the offensive side of Tennessee's rather just as much as he's thinking about their defense right now.
I would be inclined to get on the scoreboard. I know it's conservative, but I would be very inclined to get points up there right now.
Go ahead and get your 3 points. Go ahead and get your 3 points, especially this early in the ball game. But I think his first thought is, my gosh, we may not get down here again. It's been a while since we've been here. In fact, it's the first time. And Tennessee has been moving the ball so well. My other thought would be, hey, I'm going to go ahead and try to get the first down there and go on in and score.
I want to remind everybody, Monday night, ABC Sports travels to Arrowhead. The Kansas Louisville, 4th down at the Tennessee 7-yard line. Need to get to the 4-yard line for a first down. Braun moves Dawkins out into the left slot. Fitzpatrick is his running back. Long count. Called time. Could not pull him offside.
They did that on purpose.
Now the field goal team trots onto the field. It was planned all along. Howard was attempting to pull somebody across the line on the hard count, and Tennessee did not bite.
Now their kicker, David Akers, is 4 for 4 this year as a true freshman at kicking field goals. This is the biggest game he's ever attempted one in, though, especially being a true freshman. But he's 4 for 4, as you saw in that graphic.
The backup quarterback, Marty Lowe, will put it down on the 9-yard line. Here's Akers. And the Cardinals are on the board. A 24-yard field goal. Well, it's something to build on, isn't it? If you're a Louisville fan.
You bet. It gives them a lift, gives them some hope. They're only 2 plays out of it. That's what 10 points, 2 plays.
Our reminder, next Saturday on ABC, college football regional action. Many of you will see. For the first time, I've had people come up to me and say they are enjoying the pay-per-view. A lot of people have come up and just mentioned it, that they, you know,
that's great.
They order up another game and they can watch 1 or 2, so it's starting to work out a little bit. That's good. 7-0 right now, Ohio State leading Wisconsin in that big one.
Tennessee is a very good kickoff return team, averaging 22.6. That's second in the SEC, so they can return them. Very important that you get the ball up in the air, let it hang so the coverage people can get under it.
Akers will kick it off. You saw Garner 30 and Williams 80 back deep and set the return for the Volunteers. Williams 10, Alley 25. Look out, 30, 35. and smashed by the kicker, David Akers.
Did you see David? He made the hit, and he went nose to nose with him.
Hey, licked him there, huh?
He liked that hit. He liked it. David liked it. He's a tough guy.
Look, he's going to go back out and get his own tee. Look at him. He does everything.
He does a good job.
Kicks it off, makes the tackle, does the role of the manager.
Here he is. Now watch. Here's a kicker. Boom! Hey, technique wasn't great, but he got him down.
Hey, Jack, that was some show there by David. He's
Well,
pumped
David
up.
likes to make the big hits. I'll tell you about it after this play.
All right, it's 1st and 10 for the Volunteers. Schuler off a fake, rolling to... Oh, I'll tell you what. Had that ball been thrown just 1 yard closer to the left-hand side, Bridges would have had 6. The wide receiver and Heath Schuler were not on the same page that time.
Craig Faulkner was thinking something totally different.
All right, Jack.
Well, Brent, you know, see, David was forbidden by his mom to play. I won't squish anybody if you let me play football. The rest is history. I wonder what he's going to tell his mom tonight.
Yeah, I hope she wasn't looking at that one. Here comes Schuler, complete. A 1st down, Williams. Boy, is he a dangerous-looking young man out there as a wide receiver for Tennessee.
And I'll tell you what was just demonstrated there, Brent, is the strength of Heath Schuler's arm. He's on the left hash mark, throws an out, going out of bounds on the right sideline. That ball's in the air a long ways, and it was on a frozen rope. It got there quickly.
You bet. 14-3. Louisville's defense needs to make a stand. Schuler, quick drop, quick feet. Garner twisting down at the 49-yard line as Sam Madison hits him.
Well, you can see they're attacking the wide side of the field, and eventually Louisville will roll that defense over there a little bit, and then they'll come back and throw the ball back to the short side of the field. There's a lot of room up there on that wide side of the field, even though they've moved the hash marks in.
Moss Phillips, the running back, as Garner steps out. This formation gives Schuler 4 receivers, and he's going to bring Faulkner around. Faulkner out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Madison there again defensively for the Cardinals.
Big Jim Hanna, the defensive tackle that they call the blacksmith. He'll be on the left side of your screen, number 95, making the play. See him in the left-hand corner there. He starts reading. He's going up underneath. Now he'll read it. Now see, here he is. He's getting penetration right there. He gets the quarterback, but they've already handed off, and he's running the reverse. They call him the blacksmith because he likes to get down in there and get dirty.
Think she's enjoying that hot dog, huh? Yeah. Not enough mustard. Schuler fakes, rolling right, throws complete to the 35 and to the 29-yard line as Jones makes his first catch of the game.
See what they're doing on... I really believe Louisville's given them a little too much room on those 3rd and 3 and 3rd and 5 situations. They're throwing the ball short downfield in front of the defense. They're going to have to crowd them if they want to shut them down on those 3rd and medium situations.
A very important defensive series for the Cardinals. 2:40 to go in the first half. And Schuler driving the Volunteers again. Here is the hand to Garner, trying to get outside to the left. Slips a tackle, and he does just that. Inside the 25-yard line. Nifty run by Charlie Garner.
Joe Johnson, the defensive end, number 94. You'll see him to the right side of your screen. Jumped underneath the offensive tackle, Jason Lehman. Got underneath and almost made the play. Now look to the right side of your screen. See, he goes to slant up underneath. He doesn't get him right there. Now Charlie Garner has the speed. See, that real good speed. 4.29 40 time to go ahead and outrun the pursuit.
2nd down. Garner and the balls need 3 yards. Garner busts out as the blocker. Moss Phillips, the ball carrier. And Phillips gives Tennessee a 1st down. Nice run.
Nice run. David Cutliff, the offensive coordinator, told me the most underrated player on their offense is Phillips, big number 19 in the middle of your screen. He runs well. He blocks well. He catches the ball well. He's smart. He bench presses 425 pounds. He says he's a better player than given credit for.
Schuler to throw it. Stands and delivers to the 7, and Phillips. Garner and the balls need 3 yards. Garner busts out as the blocker. Moss Phillips, the ball carrier, and Phillips gives Tennessee a first down. Nice run.
Nice run. David Cutliff, the offensive coordinator, told me the most underrated player on their offense is Phillips, big number 19 in the middle of your screen. He runs well, he blocks well, he catches the ball well, he's smart. He bench presses 425 pounds. He says he's a better player than given credit for.
Schuler to throw it. Stands and delivers to the 7, and Phillips stayed on his feet. It'll be 2nd down.
He wanted to throw the fade down the sideline. The defense did an awfully good job at taking it away. Then Phillips checks down out of the backfield, and they just drop him the ball because his zone coverage had dropped out of there. Now, you watch. He wants to throw. You'll see he sets up. He wants to throw the fade. It's not there. Now he just throws the check down right there. Now, they come up and get a good pop on him right there, but they can't get him down. He's a big, strong guy.
So a reminder, John Saunders coming your way at the half. He'll have all the scores and highlights, and they'll be taking a look. Second and 1. This is the drive. Schuler will try to stick it in right here with 1:13 to go. Going to be close as to whether or not they got the first down. Big Jim Hanna standing in there again defensively for the Cardinals.
Howard Schnellenberger and the defensive coaches, Ty Smith and staff, really like this guy because he's such a leader and he gives everything he has to give every snap.
3rd down and very short now. Sprinting wide with Garner. No first down. Tennessee will probably settle for the field goal here. Joe Johnson coming in there for the Cardinals.
The way they're moving the ball, Brent, I'll bet you they go for it.
That's the indication over there on the sideline. You agree with that, Dick?
Well, when you're moving the ball as well as they are, they have a lot of confidence, Brent. I think I would. They're moving it real well.
Boy, with 10 seconds to go here in a half, I'd kick the field goal.
Maybe they're going to debate it now. Maybe they're debating it.
They bring the clock down to
Now
4 seconds, and Schuler goes over. You've got to kick the field goal.
They're going to kick it now.
As the field goal team comes on the field, gives us an opportunity to check some ABC shows. Becksport on the field for Coach Fulmer. Final seconds of the first half.
Becksport's 13 for 14 in his career from this area. Normally, I think you'd like to leave just a little more time on the clock in case there's some kind of a mishap. Leaves you time to make it up.
Lance Wheaton's the holder. Mark Holland, the snapper. Those 3 operating as a unit. They have been superb, and they're successful again. A 24-yard field goal. Fulmer and the Volunteers will take a 17-3 lead into the locker room at intermission.
CFA College Football on ABC Sports. Brought to you by Chevrolet, who invites you to see all the new Chevy cars for 1994. And Hitachi. Hitachi makes over 20,000 innovative products. We'll be back with halftime activities after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Time festivities winding down with Tennessee leading Louisville 17-3 with Dick Vermeil. I'm Brett Musburger. Dick, how good is this Tennessee team?
I believe they belong in the top 5 in the country. I really do. I think they'll end up that way.
Now, I want everybody to take a look at the standings in the Southeastern Conference. This is the Eastern Division. Now, you see, if Florida had lost, it means that Tennessee would have been ahead. So we're going to go back to last week, the most controversial decision in the conference this year. Now, watch the defensive back. Many of you have seen this for Florida. Georgia going in for a possible tie score, and the official waving his arms. And this week, the conference said time indeed was called. Then pass interference gives Georgia still another chance. So there was an opportunity for Tennessee, but it was not to be. And as of right now, Steve Spurrier and the Gators are just a couple of wins away from another championship appearance in the SEC against Alabama, probably. And Bama was upset today by LSU. Now, Dick, as we look at our quarterback comparison, what are your thoughts about our second half here?
Well, Tennessee has controlled the ball. They've given their quarterback, Schuler, more opportunity to be successful. What I think happens, Louisville has to do a better job on third down conversion. Tennessee has done a real good job. You look at the stats, time and possession in favor of University of Tennessee. Total yards, not too far apart. No turnovers by either team, but passing yards in favor of Tennessee.
Well, David Aker going to try it again. Let's see if our little bantamweight is going to come charging down the field and make his mama turn away again. So Tennessee will handle it first to start the second half. Williams. 25 to the 28, and we go down to Jackaroo. Jack.
Well, Brett and Coach, let me tell you a little bit about what Coach Howard Schnellenberger said, and it's a lot to do with what you said, Coach. Not only do they have to convert those third downs, but he was very explicit about telling his offensive line if they cannot protect their quarterback, they aren't going to be able to score. And he said field goals are not going to get it done. At the end of the halftime, he's also brought him around and said, forget the noise, forget the crowd, forget the fact that it's Tennessee. You've got to go out there and play at 11/10 in this second half.
94,826 will not let him forget. Charlie Garner is the running back. First play, busts out, and a penalty flag thrown in the middle. Against the Volunteers.
Well, the penalties were against Louisville in the first half. They start right out here against Tennessee. You see the first half possessions on their own 41, on their own 36, touchdown. Then they tightened up that defense. Forced and Punt gave up a field goal right there before the half. Got better as the game got better.
52 yards in penalties against Louisville and only 10 against Tennessee in the first half. But the second half, off to a different start. A 10-yard penalty makes it 1st and 20, make it 19 from the spot where they marked it off. So in effect, it's a 9-yard loss on it. Schuler's first pass, and it is thrown to Williams.
Pass complete.
Big Bubba Miller, the offensive center that made that shotgun snap, looks back and watches the quarterback lift his leg, and then it's up to him as to when he snaps it. And he told me the other day that he tries to vary it so that defenders on the line of scrimmage don't start reading his cadence. That's a silent snap count.
Now 2nd and 11 after that completion, and Schuler to throw it again. Uses the swing pass to Garner. Garner to the 30-yard line. This will be about a 3rd and 9, depending on where they spot it. Tom Cavalo with the stop.
Well, Schuler and company on offense converted 6 of 9 third down conversions in the first half, and that really was the difference because Louisville only converted 1 of 6. So if defensively Louisville can come up there and shut this down, then they can get that offense back on the field.
3rd and 8 now. Schuler will throw the swing. Caught to the 40 is Garner, and a Tennessee first down.
Yeah, the defensive coordinator, Ty Smith, did a good job. He tightened up the coverage on third down, Brent, that time. covering the receivers tighter, but the back out of the backfield that time to be covered tighter. Hard to cover them all. They have so many weapons.
Iowa State upsetting Kansas State today. Down here in the southeast, Alabama beaten at home by LSU. Duke upsets North Carolina State. And now Schuler rolls to the left, fires complete to Faulkner. First down, the Volunteers on the roll.
That is really tough to cover that. See, they were in a double zone, a deep safety and a rolled up corner. With the quarterback rolling out, as you'll see him roll to the left of your screen now, he keeps a defender close to the line of scrimmage, creating a deeper crease. Now see the receiver hit the crease between the short coverage and the deep coverage. Excellent design, tough to cover against that coverage.
The ball at the Cardinals' 42-yard line. 18-yard gain on that last play. Garner, hole in the middle, and he's to the 33-yard line.
When you run up inside your center and your two guards, Kevin Mays, the left guard, 67, Bubba Miller, their number 71, and Jeff Smith, 74, have to do a good, look at the nice job they do. See the hole open right there? Then good running ability, and Bubba Miller stayed with his block.
Don't you love that? A center named Bubba Miller. Blasting away, but Garner trying to reach for the first down that time with Jim Hanna hanging on.
Tell you, when two big people come off together in a zone blocking principle and they stick on one guy for a while, then ricochet off, as happened on that one, it really makes it tough on the defenders. They're really going to have to crowd him in this situation, Brent. 3rd and 2. Too many third down conversions. And Mr. Hanna there, number 95, he's the blacksmith. He better take out the sledgehammer.
Loving it in Knoxville. Schuler himself extending toward the first down. Deans in there defensively for the Cardinals.
A lot of pressure on Heath Schuler. Everyone talking to him about his decision. What is he going to do next year? Is he going to come out and go in the NFL, or is he going to stay at Tennessee? And I think would be the #1 candidate for the Heisman Trophy if he does, Brent. A lot of pressure on him. Right now, he's saying he's going to stay and lead this offense. That entire offensive line is back intact.
He'll try to follow behind that offensive line. It is a 4th down. He did not get the first down on that run. Bubba and Heath go right straight ahead for the first down. Bubba Miller, along with Kevin Mays and Jeff Smith in the middle of that offensive line for the Volunteers. Still on the move, 1st and 10.
Well, that was a real good call because they were in an even defense. And you can see, regardless of defense, in November they play well. 31-1 since 1985. I'll tell you, don't schedule them in November.
Alabama doesn't.
I played them in early September.
The look down. Beautiful setting here in Knoxville. And a roll by Schuler. Faulkner wide open.
Great
16 and Anthony Bridges.
Great faking. Defenders kept with the play as it originally started, not seeing the other half of the play. Excellent faking. Just watch the fake on this play. Don't watch anything else. That kind of action, really tough.
Garner to the 14. 3-yard gain.
This Louisville defense is very stubborn. They don't give up many big plays. They are stubborn.
Closer than you would have thought in that one, eh? Nebraska by 1 over Kansas. Florida with 61 points. Remember, all they have to do to hold off Tennessee in the SEC, go into South Carolina and win and hold service against Vanderbilt in Gainesville. Vanderbilt with a big one today. Schuler, touchdown, Tennessee. Corey Fleming.
automatic side adjustment, Brent. They rolled the corner up as if he was going to blitz, brought the safety over to cover the receiver. They audibled quickly, or it was automatic side adjustment between the quarterback and receiver, and they throw the slant for the touchdown.
Bexford. 104. The string is intact. Make it 105. I shortchanged him. We'll be right back. The airship Shamu bringing us these beautiful shots of this game between Louisville and Tennessee. That blimp also aids in marine mammal research for SeaWorld. Nice to have them along with us here on this Saturday evening right now. Corey Fleming, new Tennessee record for TD receptions in a season with 9. He was tied with Alvin Harper. He now has 16 career TD receptions, so he is tied with Harper in that category in Tennessee. And Heath Schuler has thrown a touchdown pass in 15 straight games for the Volunteers. Bailey coming out.
It was either a perfect call against the defense or a side adjustment. The right-hand side of your screen, you'll see number 18, Kevin Gaines, appear late. The corner, see him 18 at the bottom of your screen. He was rolling up, faking a blitz. They were moving the safety over to get in the coverage. They snapped the ball through the slant. Touchdown. And Mr. Fleming, as you said, gets his 9th touchdown. He is really a producer of touchdowns.
Uphill for Jeff Brom and the Cardinals. Dawkins for a couple with a penalty flag. Wilson making the stop for Tennessee. Well, tomorrow night on ABC, new episodes of America's Funniest Home Video. Up at the 9-yard line. And trailing one here, 24-3 today. Brom goes down in a pile at the 3-yard line. Horace Morris, one of the orange jerseys there.
See, the defensive ends are getting great pressure from the outside. He goes to step up inside, and he can't get there. The two defensive tackles, Yatkowski, 99, and Shane Bonham, 92, are right there in his face. Look at Shane Bonham, 92. No place to step up. If the ends come up wide, the quarterback has to be able to step up inside. He couldn't do it.
This is 2nd and 25. It's going to be around 3rd and 20.
You know, Louisville has come into this ball game, Brent, throwing a lot of screens. They really haven't used the screen game today like they had prior to this game. Down here may not be a good place to do it, but I think the screen game would help them a little.
Joe Theismann would agree with you. Throwing downfield, Bailey's open at midfield, 45 to the 37-yard line on 3rd and 20.
Well, Bailey,
a 54-yard gain.
Bailey is their most talented wide receiver. Maybe not as consistent as Cook on the other side, but he has the ability to make the big play. Now you see him out.
The other way, incomplete. Using Bailey again after that 54-yard gain. Deron Jenkins is the cornerback on that side. Somewhat surprising that Bailey would not be given a blow here.
Well, I tell you, the conditioning type program that Howard Schnellenberger runs, and having watched him coach receivers himself, have him watch the receivers himself and watch him coach him. He doesn't believe they need a breast all the time.
Can you believe one coach and one buddy backing another, folks? Did you see how slickly Vermeil threw that defense in? 2nd down and 10. Now Brom steps away from the pressure. Won't get it off. He's forced out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
They had a strong side pattern going with Asher going toward the sideline. Obviously, Brom was not looking strong side. Asher was working. Now, see him to the right side of your screen? Watch him run straight to the sideline now. See, he looks out there. He's all alone. He's all alone. The quarterback is running the other way. Look at him. He said, come on, buddy. Throw me the football.
No chance. Look at this, running for his life the other direction with Horace Morris in hot pursuit. 3rd and 14. Now Brom drops it off to Fitzpatrick. Hammered at the 44. And Deron Jenkins, along with Victor Brown, there defensively on Fitzpatrick.
You know what really was demonstrated there, Brent, was the overall team speed of Tennessee's defense. The ball appears out there in the wide area there toward the sideline, and all of a sudden, here come these orange jerseys like a magnet just coming right to it. They can really run.
Tennessee has been dominant in this game. Brookfield punted. On the 20-yard line. Tennessee poised to move up on the polls the way they're playing today. CFA College Football on ABC, brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement. And American Airlines, something special in the air. Next Saturday, something special, Alabama on the comeback trail. They will. Now it is 1st and 10, and James Stewart in the backfield gets the call. Steps behind his left tackle and turns it into an 8-yard gain. Leslie Ratliff blocking on that side. He was using him as a pretty good shield.
Yeah, and he's a big man, too. They run the counter trap a la Washington Redskins. Start the action one way to freeze the linebackers. Now watch the right side of the offensive line here. Here they come, tight end. One guy kicking out right there. Then here goes that Ratliff, number 75. See, big 300-pound wall right there, and Stewart uses him properly.
Cavalo coming off the field for the Cardinals with the injured hand. Stewart and Brunson, the running backs. The toss to Stewart. Tennessee works on the clock for a 1st down.
Stewart is a junior running back, 6'2", 210, much bigger than Charlie Garner, but an excellent running back. He's already had 1,690 yards in his career here at Tennessee, so he's been running since he was a true freshman. UCLA getting after Washington State there, Brent.
That is a fine Bruin team. Speaking of good teams, Dick, this Tennessee team, right after this snap, I want to ask you about this ball club. There's Stewart to the 40-yard line. Now, they were tied by Alabama. Dramatic comeback by the Crimson Tide. They lost down at Gainesville to Florida. What's your feelings about Tennessee?
Well, Tennessee has not been a turnover team. They're +10 on the year, Brent. But what happened to them in Alabama, they turned it over 3 times. In Florida, they turned it over 2 times. They were -5 in those 2 ball games. And they weren't good enough at that time when they played to win with that kind of a turnover ratio.
They wind up in the Citrus Bowl. They don't get into the championship game. I'm going to tell you one thing, Coach. I would not want to bring any team in here, and that almost includes Florida State, and take these guys on here before 94,000. I'll tell you that.
They're tough. I mean, we already saw that November record, 1 loss in all those years. They are very tough, and there isn't anybody on the field that can't run, and the offensive line are sophomores and juniors. I mean, they're all back, and they're very good athletes, and Phil Fulmer, the head coach, told me that 4 of those 5 guys will end up playing on Sunday afternoon someday. That's the quality athlete they have there.
Bringing the clock down in the 3rd. This is 3rd and 5 at the 42-yard line. Schuler rolling to the right. He'll throw for the first down to the Louisville 44-yard line, and Craig Faulkner.
Kendall Brown, the defensive left end for Louisville, number 85, was trying to contain the quarterback, and it's tough. He's there on a great big 300-pound tackle. Here he is, number 85, right-hand side of your screen. See, now their tight end going to block him right there. He's working inside, trying to contain him. He couldn't get there. Kendall Brown, the brother of Randall Brown, who's playing the same position for Ohio State today against Wisconsin. Twin brother, in fact.
And they're in a Donnybrook up in Madison. First down. Fake Schuler. Goes to the end zone and incomplete. Billy Williams was the deep receiver covered by Bridges.
They haven't really tried to go deep. That was a good call. First down. First time they've tried to go deep. Anthony Bridges had him covered all the way. Excellent coverage by little 5'9" junior Anthony Bridges.
Hey, Jack Arute, as they sort out this penalty flag, that Craig Faulkner is some story, isn't he?
Brent, it certainly is. I mean, he was a coach at spring ball. Can you believe that? He retired from football because, remember back in 1991, he and Carl Pickens were involved in a motorcycle accident, and he injured his wrist. He played with it injured all last year. They operated on it. They said, gentlemen, you might have to consider quitting football. He said, well, I'll try that. He hated it so bad, he decided to tell the coaches in the beginning of fall ball, I'm going to try and come back. I'll play with the pain.
The penalty against Tennessee, the ball brought back to their own 45-yard line. First down all over again. Schuler stands incomplete. Phillips. And I want to apologize, Dick. I think I was calling him Moss. I'm so used to that Spanish moss down there in Georgia, hanging from the trees. Moss, you know. Come on, Brent, get with the deal here, kid.
You know, the down four of Louisville, they are excellent. And I read about them, and I saw them on tape, and watching them play today, they are excellent. I think if they maybe have a little weakness, they might not have the same caliber athlete in the linebacker positions that they have in the downline positions.
Second and 20. Schuler's number is pretty impressive, huh? 19 to 25 for better than 200 yards and that one score. Coming again. Incomplete, broken up by Sumter.
Excellent play by Benny Sumter. An honor roll student in high school playing defense intelligently right there.
It's struck down. Third down.
Schuler is so efficient within this offense, and he's growing, and he has another year. I'd really like to see him stay, and so we can come here and watch him play again.
Well, you know, there's a lot of similarity between Rick Meyer and Heath Schuler.
Yes, there is.
And look at what Meyer is doing now with that extra year up in Seattle. High and incomplete.
He is so productive. He wasn't productive on that play, but you can see coming into this game, he threw a touchdown pass every 14th attempt, every 9th completion, and an interception every 43. Now you say, what does that mean? Well, that is actually better than the #1 rated quarterback in the NFL and an average over the last 10 years. Very productive. Granted, he's not throwing against NFL football teams. Uh-oh. Wisconsin up by 7. Big 10.
Beautiful punt. Here's that man again for Louisville. He slips that first tackle down at the 17-yard line. Scott Gallion making the stop for Tennessee's punt team. Within striking distance of the Rose Bowl. Hard to believe. Great defensive unit. Over the middle, complete to Ferguson. And Ferguson down at the 44. And John Saunders, what's up with Wisconsin, Ohio State?
Well, Brent, you mentioned it.
Louisville trying to get something going against this devastating defensive line. To midfield, Shellman.
Tennessee has their backup defensive line in there right now. Steve White, 64, Leland Taylor, number 75, Corey Stone, 98, Shane Burton. Backup line, but what they did, they put Ron Davis, who really is their starting corner that was injured this week, in the ball game. The first pass they throw is a post pattern on him, complete.
Bailey is off to Brom's left from the shotgun. He's got him one-on-one. Fires to him. Almost broke the tackle. Battled his way to the 36-yard line, and the injured Ronald Davis in at that cornerback spot. That has been a little troublesome over there with Aaron Bailey. Davis unable to start because of the injury, but he's playing now.
Davis sprained his ankle on Wednesday, evidently not.
To the 34-yard line, Shellman.
Louisville has a real nice little shotgun package. They run a lot of their running plays out of the shotgun, just as if they had the quarterback up underneath the center. See, the defensive linemen see shotgun, they think about rushing the passer, so you can get some trap blocks and kick-out blocks maybe a little bit better from that formation.
Brom steps away from the pressure. Takes off. Callie got to the corner on Callie and picked up a first down. That was a fine run.
Jermaine Williams, the offensive left tackle for Louisville, is having his real problems with the defensive left end. And each time he steps up, Brom can feel it coming right down his back. Watch this athletic...
Tennessee, 26. A bouncer deflected again by that defensive rush.
Ben Talley, what a fine football player. I talked to him the other day and asked him about playing both linebacker and then down as a pass rusher defensive end. And he says he really likes the down lineman position because a lot of times those big tackles aren't as quick as he is, and he can get around him and to the quarterback. It looks like they're coming with a blitz, or else they're going to bluff it. They bluffed it.
Brom almost caught at the 6-yard line by Asher.
Boy, that's a difficult catch. If that ball, though, is 2 inches lower, that young man, Asher, will make it. Those seam patterns down there, you stretch the receiver out. See that? Now watch him have to reach to the left side of your screen. Go way up in there. Boy, that's when you get those ribs taken apart down there by a safety. Almost comes up with an exceptional play. And I have seen him make that kind of reception on tape this week.
Third down.
Throw it lower, Jeff.
Brom in trouble. Slips away. Now Brom in a foot race. Throws complete. Great play at the 12-yard line. He finds Asher. A penalty flag is down at the 17, but watch this scramble and another penalty against Louisville.
Talk about an athlete at the quarterback position. Watch the pressure. Very, very elusive. Thereafter, he mixes it. Now watch, he has great...
The ball brought back to the 30-yard line. And it will be now 3rd and 15 for the Cardinals with the final seconds ticking away here in the 3rd quarter.
Penalties have hurt them the entire game, Brent.
We'll return with more between Louisville and Tennessee after this message and a word from our ABC station. The final quarter in Knoxville, and after 3, Dick, the stats look this way.
Well, as the people have watched the game, they can tell that Tennessee has been controlling the clock. They're almost 8 minutes more. Total offense not that far apart. Neither team turning it over.
All right, here's 3rd and 15 to start the 4th. Brom incomplete. It's 4th and 15.
He had that. He just threw it too high. He had what he wanted.
Well, let's go to New York and John Saunders. John?
Fred in the pack.
4th and 15. Got his man. To the 1-yard line with Dawkins, the running back. 1st and goal, Louisville. Huge play for the Cardinals on 4th down.
Doing an excellent job of splitting the seams in the zone. They spread the formation, spread the defense. The defense is playing zone. And Ralph Dawkins, number 22, hits the crease. The ball is thrown actually to the right side of your screen. Now watch everybody just dropping and playing zone here. There it is. Look at that big hole right in there. Excellent throw right where he had to put it over that inside shoulder. 1st down, goal to go.
And our stats man, George Hill, reminds me, Dick, that Louisville is 7 out of 8 on 4th downs this year. That's a 28-yard gain. Now it's 1st and goal. Dawkins and Fitzpatrick and Brom, a misstep, picks it up, trap, gets to the left, dives for the pylon, touchdown, Louisville! What a play by Jeff Brom.
No coaching there. That's all talent. That's all talent. The broken play all the way. I'm not so sure he didn't drop the snap and have to pick it up. And then just presence of mind to go ahead and just be a sandlot football player. They said at Trinity High School, he made a living doing that in high school. Broken play master. Now watch the snap. See, the ball's on the turf. He picks it up, runs out of the tackle, accelerates now. Oh my gosh. Here he comes around the corner. Heads gets that shoulder down. There it is on the flag.
Well, they put the Bromarooski back into football here today.
The Bromarooski is right.
That was compliments of the spotter, Jimmy Tubbs. I wish I could take credit for that. So Louisville bounces back. Given that, with the time remaining, an onside kick would at least be a remote possibility here.
Surprise type weapon right there, Brent. Not likely, but I know Howard. He's liable to try something.
There it is. Bouncing, loose, Louisville jumps for it, they've got it, the onside kick is successful. Madison recovers it.
You know, big play here, he just pops it over there. Paid off.
How about Akers' performance today as a kicker? 1st down, Louisville. Now Brom, firing, incomplete.
Receiver broke the wrong way.
That was Kevin Cook. He was there if he'd have turned the right way.
Yes, the quarterback read the coverage. He expected the corner pattern. He went to the post. Come on, Kevin. You'll see right here in the middle of your screen, the slot man now, there's coverage is rolling up. Now he's going to break for the, should have broken for the corner as the ball was thrown there. See, he turned the other way.
2nd and 10. Louisville tries to hit, and Akers, with all that soccer experience, paying off here today. Now Brom, right side, and then intercepted at the 20-yard line by Jenkins. Did you see that blow by Dawkins?
Woo! He ought to play defense. Holy mackerel. Great play by Deron Jenkins, but a real mistake by Jeff. They rolled up to him over here, the bottom of your screen. See, they roll up right there, and he falls back off. Good job of defense.
Hello. Looks like a football coach, doesn't he?
And he is. You know, Brent, I had a chance to spend about 2.5, 3 hours with him talking football, and he is really inquisitive. He wants to hear how other people do things and have his own system evaluated. Going to be a dandy.
Garner in it, running back. Heath Schuler. Hands to him. New bounces out of there beautifully. Breaks free to the 45 uniform. Wow.
Charlie Garner, a JC transfer 2 years ago. Brent, we saw him last year in the season get one of his first opportunities. He has great mobility, real good feet. He keeps a good base. Now, watch him ricochet and come out of there. Why could he do that? Good balance and good base, and then excellent acceleration. take another look at that. That's too good to only look at one time. Look at that balance. Then learn that ability to re-accelerate.
First down, Tennessee. Schuler rolls right. Oh, fires complete. And a good hit by Bridges on Williams. And we go down to Jackaroo, Jack.
Well, Brent, I'm probably with one of the most interested spectators as far as Heath Schuler is concerned, his mom. And I understand you've been following your son since how old?
Really and truly, since it's been about 4.
4 years old?
When he first started playing T-ball.
What about the rumors about him maybe going to the professional level? How does a mother feel about that? Do you want to see him stay here for another year?
Yes, I really do. It's exciting here. Everybody loves him here. I would like to see him stay, and it's great. Everybody, I don't know, just makes you feel great here. I would love to see him stay. I think he will.
Well, we told the story about how Heath got the name. Lee Majors was your favorite. How did Benji get his name?
Benji got his name by the dog. Benji the dog, the movie. That's how he got his name.
Hey, Brent, we were right. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.
I'll tell you what, Jack. She gets hit in the side of the face one more time down there, and Heath will be going to the NFL immediately. Did you see that, Dick?
Yeah.
She took
marshmallows, I think.
Yeah. I can think of some movies I'm glad she didn't see.
Frankenstein is one of them.
Hey, Coach. Coach, how do you think Heath got so tough?
I don't know. I'll tell you that. You got to love
This
her,
is a tough
boy.
mother right here.
Nothing more important than Mom being a good coach.
You got that right.
She's a good sport, too.
You got that right. All right, second down now for Heath and the Volunteers. With the fake. Incomplete. That's Williams who is down. Did he pull a hamstring? Pulled up a little lame there on the left leg. And while we've got an opportunity, let's check in with an update on Wisconsin, Ohio State. John, what do you got? Down in the end zone. The crowd screaming for interference, but I don't think there was interference at all here, Dick.
Yeah, he's actually almost interfering with the right of the defender to get the football right there. I kind of believe that he might have stretched a hamstring or a groin.
You know, Dick,
fine athlete.
I know some of the folks down the South don't follow the Big Ten all that closely, but it is not unusual for the Buckeyes to go into Madison and have trouble. Through the years, Wisconsin has given them fits in there.
And now they're they're so much better a football team to go in there. And I'll tell you this, Ohio State is as good a team as we've seen all year. So Wisconsin must be pretty darn good.
You know what's interesting? My second best team would be this bunch right here.
Right here.
I'll tell you, this
and
is
then
a
I
football
think
team.
if they play at home, if they play right here, they're the best.
This Tennessee team can flat out play. 3rd and 7 right now. Battling, did not get the first down. He's short of the first down. Ben Sumner kept Phillips away.
Benny Sumter did an awfully good job right there. The receiver was reading him. He squatted for the first down, and Sumter just approached it properly. Good shoulder position and made the tackle. Good job by Ben Sumter.
You know, I want to make sure that everybody in Tallahassee is not running for their phone. I said teams we had seen this year. We haven't covered Florida State this year.
Well, we saw them last year, and there wasn't anybody close.
4th and 1.
Louisville defense is 7 for 11 defensing 4th down situations. That's a pretty good ratio.
So timeout is called by Schuler here. 11 minutes to go. Tennessee leading Louisville 24-10. And Louisville. Tennessee with a 4th and 1. Dick Stewart for the first down.
They ran over big Jason Lehman, the big, strong offensive left tackle, 6'5", 290. Big sophomore from Louisville, Tennessee, came off the ball strongly, gave him that crack to run in. Take a look at good isolation, good lead. Follow the fullback at the point of that left tackle coming off the ball. See that hole right there? Then the fullback spot right at the point. Good job by Mario Brunson at the fullback spot, picking up that linebacker.
Schuler, hands, and Garner spins. 19. Great run to the 16 by Charlie Garner.
Just imagine yourself being a linebacker or a defensive back trying to come up and tackle this young fella straight on. Watch the footwork, the grace, the ability to make you miss. Watch him make the cut. Right, Joe Jones, 94, forces him wide. Now watch him spread the base, make you miss, give you a leg, take it away. There he goes again. Ladies and gentlemen, he's tough to tackle.
And he injured his right hand or shoulder. Stewart replaces Garner. Stewart to the 7.
You know, it's amazing they made yards on that play. Joe Johnson, the defensive end, did a great job. He stuffed the offensive tackle, but the linebackers didn't get there to make the play, Brent. When a defensive lineman stuffs the tackle, the linebackers have got to get there and make the play, and that's what Johnson did that time. He stuffed them.
This drive has been a good one.
And a long one.
And on second down, Stewart for the first down.
They're really coming off the ball now with that zone blocking principle. All the offensive linemen coming off together on courses and picking up the defense as they make contact. Really coming off the ball hard.
So the big story in the SEC today, LSU upsets Alabama. Florida with a big day. Vandy over Kentucky. Ole Miss losing at Memphis. Mississippi State up on Arkansas late. Touchdown, Tennessee. It's Stewart.
The offensive tackle on the left side of your screen, and Jeff Smith, 74, come off real well. Gets a good lead block there again by Mose Phillips. Touchdown.
So that extra point string for Bexford now at 106. Tennessee. Piloting the SeaWorld blimp today, Steve Adams and Jose Calan, both from Orlando, home of airship Shamu. Philip Fulmer's home is right here in Knoxville. He grew up not far from Alabama, and we had a chance to ask him how it affected his football team when he was tied by Alabama 17-17. Here's what he had to say.
They were disappointed, certainly a lot of disappointment for a couple of days and right after the football game. But they realized that they stood toe-to-toe with the defending national champions in their backyards and really should have won the football game.
So he brings Tennessee now to a position where they're going to definitely improve on their ranking. Alabama, having lost today at the hands of LSU, will fall out of the top 5. Nebraska had a very close game. They figure to slip into that spot. And, of course, don't forget Ohio State could throw things completely up in the air if they lose to Wisconsin. we are looking at the possibility of Tennessee, before the year's over, being a top 5 team and maybe even heading for the Gator Bowl. Who knows? Dawkins and Strickland are now the running backs. This is Dawkins. Talley wouldn't let him get the corner turn. Great tackle.
He came into the ball game leading the team in tackles with 61, and he just demonstrated why he is the leader. Fine football player. And he, too, has another year of eligibility from Griffin, Georgia. How'd they ever let it get out of Georgia?
That's some good linebackers here. Senior Reggie Ingram, junior Ben Talley, sophomore Scott Gallion. They've done a job, haven't they, behind that defensive front? Strickland. Touchdown, Tennessee!
That's an incomplete pass.
They have signaled touchdown.
I don't know how. Unless I saw that wrong, Brad. I thought that was an incomplete pass.
So did I. I was all set.
Take a look at that again. Howard is bewildered on that one. I don't think he caught the football. Watch the left-hand corner of your screen. You'll see the running back coming out. That's Rod Strickland. Now let's see if he catches that football. No, he never caught the football. Criminy sakes. I'll tell you, that official who called that a touchdown ought to donate this check to charity. That's horse bucky. Blame me, Howard. That was a lousy. That's the worst call I've seen this year. Well, I've seen some bad ones. That's the worst one. Terrible. And oh my God, Santa Claus came early. Take one more look at that, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you, Brent, excuse me for getting so upset on that. I just, the kids play hard and want to win football games, and the officials blow a call like that and then give a touchdown right in front of them. Hey, I just sent my glasses down.
I don't mind you getting upset. I think you're right.
Whew. They say calls like that balance out over a period of years.
Wow. That call will be very hard for the league office to justify next week.
No, you know what they do? They'll call and say, we're sorry. We might want to check the official and see if he graduated from Tennessee.
Kicking off 6 points. Steve Bailey.
However, putting that aside, Tennessee has still been the better football team here today.
Yeah, no question.
Fumble! Tennessee has recovered again. Offside, however. There is a penalty against Tennessee. Tennessee was offside on the kickoff. They'll have to re-kick this. Hold on here.
Kicking team was offside. Re-kick, 5-yard penalty.
Well, we've got a moment. Let's quickly check in with John Saunders. John?
Brad. Talked to Terry Donahue this week for a long time in a phone conversation. He was really concerned about going up in Palouse country because he said he thought he could beat him, but he didn't think he could run on him. And if the weather was bad, then he wouldn't be able to throw the ball well. Evidently, weather good enough to allow him to throw those touchdown passes.
Aaron Bailey back deep for the Cardinals. 8 minutes to go. Jack Arute, this surface won't be around much longer here at Tennessee, will it?
Brett, this game and their final game against Vanderbilt will signify the end of this, what Tennessee Volunteer fans call Doug's Rug. And you know why? Because back in 1968, the first college game played on a collegiate stadium was right here in Tennessee against Georgia. And Doug Dickey, then the Tennessee coach, brought in artificial turf. It was called tartan turf. It was very popular back then, except with the Georgia coach, Vince Dooley. He said he wasn't even going to play the game, wanted to forfeit it. He didn't like the stuff back then. Now, as you know and I know, there's a lot of controversy about artificial turf, so the Tennessee Board of Regents has decided they are now going to replace it next year with natural grass.
And Jack, James Wilson put that turf to good use.
Jermaine Williams, the offensive right tackle, who's now has been playing left tackles, moved over to the right side, just gave Wilson too much room on that play-action type pass. The one, their top offensive lineman broke his leg a couple games ago, who would normally be playing that right tackle, and that's Roman O'Ben. They could use him tonight.
Here's Brom. Nowhere. Sacked as Wilson leads the charge again.
He came into the game with 5.5 sacks. He has 15.5 sacks on his career. This guy knows how to rush a passer.
And a reminder again, next Saturday, we've got regional action here on 3rd and 25. Inside handoff, Dawkins slips a tackle. Dawkins slammed at the 24-yard line by Talley.
I'll tell you, I really like this little Ralph Dawkins. Not a big guy, but an excellent football player. He's tough. We saw that he could tackle on that interception earlier in the ball game. This guy is an excellent football player.
Timeout, Tennessee, with 5:53 remaining.
Oklahoma State 14, Wisconsin 14.
So Tennessee will run its record to 7-1-1 today with this win, leading 38-10.
Washington 21.
A reminder that we're going to have some time to hear from John Saunders, the thrifty post-game report. And I'm sure that if that Wisconsin-Ohio State game is coming down to a few hectic moments, you'll be able to check in on that, too. So that'll be coming up. They are tied now. The Buckeyes get in for the tie.
They put in their backup quarterback. Powers went in. Remember the game we did? He came in and took them down.
On the punt return. They had it in all week, and they spring it. Touchdown, Tennessee. Sylvan off the punt return reverse.
I would have saved that. I would have saved that one. They're going for national rankings. They reverse the ball to the fastest man on the football team. There it is. Nilo Sylvan coming around. He's a track man just learning to be a football player. No one lays a hand on him. Tennessee felt in preparation for this ball game that Louisville coverage would really be constricted, as they had shown in a pattern to do that. They took advantage of it.
To 10, and Tennessee making a strong argument that they're a top 5 team. And I asked those folks who put together the Bowl Coalition, wouldn't you like to consider Tennessee for the Fiesta Bowl or the Cotton Bowl or any of those? This is a pretty good football team, and they're not going to go there.
This is the first time in years I have seen a reverse. Look at the white jerseys all going the wrong direction. They knew in game plan preparation, they got the great peel-back lock, that Louisville's coverage tended to constrict too tightly. They felt too soon on the return man. I'm just surprised they went ahead and used it. This would have, now, it'd be tough to ever do it again somewhere along the line.
Points in less than 3.5 minutes for the Vols. And for these folks in Knoxville, this is a double holiday. They always celebrate whenever Alabama loses, and they celebrate twice when Tennessee wins. So this is huge.
They do drink their beer down here.
Oh, really? Not to mention a little Jack Daniels. How's that for a pop? We can't do that. It's illegal to advertise that on it. I apologize. But it's pretty good stuff. Out of the end zone. John Saunders, show me how that backup quarterback got it done for the Bucks. It does Wisconsin, because the Badgers were beaten by Minnesota. So the tie is not going to knock Ohio State from the perch. And here, Marty Lowe. He figures to be the starting quarterback at Louisville next season. He checks in now for the final 5.5 minutes. And here is hard-working running back Ralph Dawkins, the senior. He's out of Jacksonville, Florida. And as Dick Vermeil has pointed out a couple of times, he's a fine football player.
He's the leading receiver in the history of Louisville football coming into this ball game with 142 receptions. Here he demonstrates how well he can run the football. Good block right there by number 74, Garen Patrick, up pulling through the line. And see that balance. Boy, I'll tell you, he's a dandy.
For you. Mr. Jackaroot, how come the reverse at this point in the football game, sir?
Well, Brent, some people may wonder why. Why would a coach want to run the score up? Well, it's for two reasons, is what we're hearing down here on the sidelines. Number one, send a message to the nation that this team is a lot better than the one that tied Alabama and lost to Florida. But more importantly, number two, because a lot of what was written in the papers this week about Louisville and how they were going to come into this house and take home the marbles. So it's a twofold thing, one right here and one for the rest of the U.S.
Yeah, one other thing to keep in mind in this whole bowl situation, when the Citrus Bowl comes up to choose its representative, let's just throw out the scenario like last year. Let's say Alabama beats Florida or either way around, I don't care. Tennessee is going to be ranked ahead of them the way things now stand. Fulmer wants the Citrus Bowl to keep that in mind. He wants to keep the pressure on them so that he can wind up there against a probable Big Ten team like a Michigan State, or who knows who's going to wind up being the runner-up in the Big Ten. It won't be State, but certainly it could be Wisconsin and Tennessee in the Citrus Bowl. So there is some bowl politics at play right here.
Well, not many people like the coalition at this time of year. I mean, as we move around to different campuses and talk to people, not many people like it.
I just want to point out one thing about the coalition, that when you promote a 1 versus 2 for a national championship, you devalue every other bowl game you've got. If you're going to promote a 1 versus 2, let's choose 32 teams, have a tournament, and get it over with.
That's right.
This is 3rd and 2 now at midfield. Nice run for the first down by Danny Patterson.
Real nice run by Dan. Good balance coming off. He got a good block that time by the big right tackle, Jermaine Williams, who was having some trouble pass protecting. That time, he blocked the run pretty well.
I think Phil Fulmer was watching those tapes of Jimmy Johnson when he used to coach the Hurricanes in Miami.
Might have been.
Reverses, block punts, whatever it takes. Remember when he ran it up on poor old Jerry Faust that day?
Oh, he wouldn't do that, would he?
Oh, my goodness. Hey, you don't think that Schnellenberger wouldn't like to throw one in the end zone right now, would he?
What'd you say, Brent?
There it is. Get it in there. Down to the 12-yard line.
There it is.
That's the way.
You're becoming offensive coordinator up here, haven't you?
There's the little yellow. You know, Dick, when I was much younger, I used to get upset about guys running it up. Now I love it now.
Lowe took a shot on this. He set up properly. See, but Williams is getting his lunch eaten again. Shane Burton, just a young sophomore defensive lineman that was a tight end a year ago, wasn't excited about moving the defense, making a play like that. He better get excited about it.
Repeat first down.
Howard's down there. He's got to send some mean pills to Jermaine Williams at tackle. He's been getting handled a little bit today.
Well, one thing we want to say about Howard and the folks at Louisville, they have done a remarkable job at a basketball school in a very tough place to recruit of doing a superb job. And that new stadium that's going to be open down there in 95, 96. So it's really a remarkable success story despite what's happening here this afternoon. I mean, they got their clock cleaned in here this afternoon. But I'm going to tell you, this is really an impressive Tennessee team. I did not expect to be that impressed by this football team.
Well, you know, I had the opportunity to watch all those tapes, and I was impressed. I don't think it's so much that Louisville is not a real good football team, because I think they are a good football team, but Tennessee is an extremely good football team. And then the penalties early in the ball game really hurt Louisville, really hurt them.
Well, it's 1st and 10 here for the Cardinals. 2:49. They can still get another one for their pride. You know, they've got a tough stop next week. Texas A&M. That's going to be no walk in the park either. Dawkins slashes to the 23. Dick, I know you have talked to Carl Peterson. Monday night, the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Green Bay Packers. Joe Montana, do you think he'll play or not?
Defense, and Miami took him apart a little bit last week. I mean, just got after him pretty good. I look for him to jump back and be much stronger football team Monday night.
Time running out. Kim Belton, our producer, alerts you to only 7 seconds left in that one. Thanks to Kim down there. Bill Webb, the director, a little bit short-handed down the trucks. Boys did a good job today. Penalty flag down.
Nice catch. That was going to be called back.
Reggie Ferguson making the grab.
They were all fouled up in alignment. They had a young backup player, third-string player there, not get lined up properly. Calvin Arrington, number 34. They were all fouled up.
There's Williams. It was a pulled hamstring, incidentally, when he went into the end zone.
Boy, he's a gifted athlete. You know,
that can trouble you, huh? When you're a burner like that?
Yeah, it could take him a few weeks to come back.
Yeah.
Though they do have other people to line up and play with.
Here's Lowe. Intercepted at the 5-yard line. This will just about do it. Bignod. Shane Bignod.
I think they'll now just come out and run out the clock. I think they've impressed everybody. I know you don't like that, Coach.
Bring the backup quarterback out here. Let's play some more. Yeah. 45-10. The score right now, 1:14 to go.
They've got their backup offense in there right now. James Warren is in at tackle. Ralph Nelson at guard.
Jerry Colquitt is the quarterback. There he is.
Trey Peterson at right guard. Got some young people in there playing.
Just handed it off, as you said, to the 45-yard line. Eric Lane, the running back, and we still got a Schuler on the field, and that's Benji Schuler. Where's Benji? There he is. That pad up there, and we'll give you a biscuit. Come on, Benj.
Coach Fulmer told me the guy's going to be a good football player.
He scored a touchdown, didn't he, this year before his brother?
Yeah.
Didn't he catch a touchdown pass from Colquitt in that opener, I think, huh? Minute to go here. Run again to the 46-yard line. Eric Lane is out of Chestnut Ridge, New York. CFA College Football on ABC has been brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Coors Light, aged ice cold for that pure taste of the Rockies. Reach for the silver bullet. Right beer now. Magnavox, the ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart. And Hewlett-Packard desk jet and laser jet printers. 30 seconds to go. Holding penalty brings it back. And running the clock out now with Jay Graham, who's got a lot of talent. He's only a freshman. You'll see a lot of him. That's going to do it. Tennessee 45, Louisville 10. And Howard Schnellenberger goes across the field to shake hands with Coach Fulmer. And here are Chevrolet players of the game from Louisville, Aaron Bailey, and from Tennessee, their talented quarterback, Keith Schuler. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. Tennessee goes to 7-1-1 impressively. Louisville will go back and regroup and get ready for another tough one against Texas A&M. And 94,000 firing out of Neyland Stadium. Their beloved Volunteers have come through again. And let's go down to Jack with Heath Schuler. Jack?
Well, Heath, first of all, congratulations. But the question everybody wants to know, were you guys trying to send a message to the country?
I tell you what, I think we were. We're a really good team, I think. And, early in the season, we just, against Florida, we just didn't have the opportunity maybe playing as well as we are now. I think we're really coming along. I think the best thing I can say is my offensive line just blocking really well, and the defense is playing great.
Well, you've also got to put your destiny as far as the championship in the hands of Florida.
Oh, we certainly do. I think Florida will probably they'll be in a situation where they'll beat Alabama or whoever will be in the bowl with them, and we're just waiting for a New Year's Day bowl and be able to go.
Brent?
Congratulations to Heath Schuler. Typical Volunteer. He's got Alabama losing again. So long, everybody.
CFA College Football on ABC Sports.
Record and 16 for his career. That ties the Tennessee record as Tennessee blows out Louisville. Back with more on the postgame report in just a moment. Stay with us.
Cardinals trying to embarrass the coalition, highly motivated, but Tennessee playing as well as anyone in the country these days. And a reminder, Leon Johnson, Volunteers at home, midway through the first quarter, he's Schuler. The great agility, gets in the end zone, 7-0 balls. Later in the first quarter, the Big Orange driving again, and Schuler to Craig Faulkner, who makes a spectacular one-handed grab. Same drive, Schuler to Billy Williams. Pushed out at the 1-yard line to set up a touchdown, 14-0 balls. It's 17-3 early third quarter. Schuler to Corey Fleming, another great catch. It's 24-3. You get the idea. A lot of big plays as the balls just dominated. Fleming piled up, hands off the Nilo Sylvan on the reverse. They don't get him. 69 yards, and the balls roll over Howard's team. 45-10 is the final. Tennessee, though, still a slim chance of getting to the SEC championship game because Florida's in control in that division.
You'll see them at this time next week against Texas A&M. They hope for better doings. Well, they won't be facing a team as talented as the Vols. Corey Fleming hands it off. Look at Nilo Sylvan on the reverse. He's gone 69 yards. Tennessee wins at home by 35. Corey Fleming set the school record by catching his 9th touchdown pass of the year.
But out of conference and laying a big hurt on Louisville, what Howard and his players had in mind. So they decided to make this game their bowl against Tennessee. Guess what? You better start looking toward the Liberty Bowl, Cardinals, because this was just a tough one. He's Schuler showing some agility, scrambling 6 yards for a touchdown. Tennessee in that checkerboard end zone early and often today. Driving again in the first quarter, and Schuler, look at the catch by Craig Faulkner, the great one-handed grab later in the drive. Schuler to Billy Williams. Is he going to get in? No, he's pushed out the one, set up a touchdown, 14-0. In the third quarter, Schuler to Corey Fleming. Just a great number of acrobatic catches by the Vols, and then a little trickeration on the punt return here. Fleming hands off to Nilo Sylvan. They're not going to get him 69 yards. And Tennessee, as Howard would say, rolling over Louisville 45-10. The Volunteers are playing as good a football as just about anybody in the country. Gators on homecoming beat the Raging Florida. There are a lot of other teams trying to get in. As Kentucky didn't get the win they needed today. Georgia needs to win out against Auburn and Georgia Tech. LSU, believe it or not, is in there. South Carolina is in there. And Vanderbilt, Craig, is in there. So there's a lot of teams with not very good records still alive.
Which is amazing. They're usually so strong and so deep. Now, 2 points on this conference. Tennessee is the best team in the Eastern Division, even though Florida is ranked ahead of them right now in the standings. And the Florida, now the Sugar Bowl needs them to run the table, so they'll have the highest-ranked host team on New Year's Day. But don't expect that to happen. They still have to play Alabama, and they got to play Florida State. One of those two teams will beat them.
Okay, but Florida wins out. You're right. And Florida beat Tennessee. Just want to remind you on that. Florida will beat Alabama in the championship game, but here is the difference in the thing. The number 2 team goes to the Citrus Bowl. It will not be Alabama, although they're in the championship game. You're right. It'll be Tennessee.
That's in beautiful downtown
Orlando.
Another plug. Okay. Meanwhile, in beautiful downtown College Park, Maryland, Florida State, the number 1 team.
Also, the 2 best teams in the NHL so far this season face off. Committed to the December 28th Liberty Bowl in Memphis as its best option. But the Cardinals' most meaningful game is actually 8 weeks before New Year's, also in Tennessee, this afternoon in Knoxville against the 7th-ranked Volunteers. A high-powered offense that was scoreless midway through the first, but Heath Schuler still looking to gain in that Heisman race. Ducked under a couple of Cardinal defenders. Broke the scoreless tie. Vols up 7-0. Early third, 17-3 Tennessee. And his favorite target, Corey Fleming, goes in. 24-3 Vols. Then Fleming fields the punt and the reverse. It's Nilo Sylvan. And he explodes down the sideline. He'll go 69 yards. Tennessee rolls over the Cardinals, 45-10. Fleming had his 9th TD catch. That's a Tennessee record. He ties Alvin Hopper's 16 career TD catches, and Schuler has thrown a TD pass in 15 straight as the Vols remain unbeaten, 5-0 in this Border War series, and then they play Kentucky for the 100th time next week. The Cardinals still have never beaten a top 10 team. They get another shot next weekend at 10th-ranked Texas A&M. At Pitt Stadium, the Panthers coming off their first win since the opener, but now hosting number 6 Miami.
Visiting Tennessee, and Heath Schuler, another fine game. 21 out of 30, and a touchdown strike here to Corey Fleming. 24-3 Volunteers in the third quarter. On to the fourth quarter, Louisville having to punt again, but Tennessee pulls a little something out of its bag of tricks. Nilo Sylvan taking the reverse, and what happened to Louisville's coverage? It watches Sylvan go 69 yards for the touchdown that puts this away. Vols win it big, 45-10.
And while Sylvan might still be running, we'll run into the 6 through 10 spots in the polls. The Vols convincing the coaches to move them up a spot to 6. West Virginia blows out Rutgers 58-22 to stay unbeaten and continue its climb up the poll. The Mountaineers gaining 2 spots. Texas A&M idle in the 8th position. Florida State, or rather Florida, had an expected rout of Southwest Louisiana. That's followed by a jump of 1 spot to 9. And the Bruins now 2 wins away from the Rose Bowl, beat Washington State and cracked the top 10. So let's look at some of the damage.